In October of 2025, a 17-year-old girl named Larissa Rodriguez died. She was a cheerleader, a tennis player. She'd been accepted into nearly 20 colleges. The Hidalgo County Medical Examiner ruled her cause of death as cardiomyopathy, an enlarged heart caused by excessive caffeine consumption. She had no pre-existing heart conditions. She just drank energy drinks every day, the same ones that are all over your TikTok feed right now, marketed to you as part of a healthy, active lifestyle. I'm not telling you that story to scare you. I'm telling you that story because nobody told her the full picture. At my worst, I was drinking about 2 to 3 energy drinks a day. That's anywhere between 300 to 700 milligrams of caffeine every single day. And for context, the FDA recommends adults max out at about 400 milligrams total. And here's the thing, I was drinking the sugar-free ones. Because I was into fitness, I thought I was making the smart choice. 0 sugar, 0 calories, how bad could it be, right? I was pounding one before every single workout. Didn't matter if it was 9 o'clock at night. Didn't matter that I've been up since 8 in the morning. If I was going to the gym, I was having an energy drink first. And yeah, I felt like I had more energy. I felt wired. I felt ready to go. But if I actually look at my progress during that time, my lifts were sloppy, I was rushing through everything. Like I had to finish the workout before the crash hit, because I knew it was coming. And when it did, I'd reach for another one. I genuinely couldn't tell you why I kept doing it anymore. I just knew something felt wrong when I didn't have one, and I kept ignoring that. I'm obviously not a doctor or a medical professional. I'm just some guy that used to drink a ton of energy drinks. So I looked up the research just to see the effects so I can share it with you guys. So take what I'm saying as a starting point, but go read the studies yourself. I'll link everything in the description for you guys to go check out. But here's what I found. Most people look at energy drinks and think they're just coffee in a can. They're really not. A standard energy drink can have anywhere from 150 to over 300 milligrams of caffeine, but that's not even counting the other caffeine sources buried in the ingredients. Take guarana, for example. It's a plant extract listed separately from caffeine on the label. But guarana is caffeine. It has nearly double the caffeine concentration of a coffee bean. Some companies use the word guaranine on the label instead of caffeine. It's the same exact drug, just a different name, and most people have no idea. Then you got taurine, an amino acid that on its own might be fine, but when combined with caffeine, it can amplify the stimulant effects on your heart rate and blood pressure. You've got mega doses of B vitamins piled on top of that. And the honest answer from researchers is that the full combined effect of all these ingredients together isn't completely understood yet. Researchers have pointed out that the reason some people can drink coffee all day and be fine, but have bad reaction to an energy drink, might not be any one ingredient specifically. It might be everything hitting your system at the same time. And for the sugar-free crowd, myself included, here's the reality check. Cutting the sugar doesn't cut the problem. The elevated heart rate, the anxiety, the sleep disruption, none of that is coming from the sugar. It's coming from the stimulant stack. The fitness community falls for this more than anyone because these brands have worked very hard to make you feel like cracking one open is part of being serious about training. It's not. It's a marketing decision built around the fact that people who have already obsessed with performance are easy to sell stimulants to. Let me get into what the research actually shows. A systematic review that screened over 1,400 studies and pulled data from nearly 1,600 participants found that energy drink consumption caused a significant increase in heart rate in over 60% of the studies, elevated systolic blood pressure in over half, and something called QTc interval prolongation, a marker of abnormal electrical activity in the heart, in almost 2/3 of the studies reviewed. My girlfriend had never had an energy drink before she met me. She tried them for a few weeks and started noticing her heart would randomly start racing at odd moments. Not just right after drinking them, but hours and sometimes days later. She said it made her feel off in a way she couldn't quite describe, so she stopped. And once she cut them out, everything went back to normal. This isn't a one-off experience. Cardiologists at the University of Rochester specifically noted that caffeine stimulates the release of adrenaline, which is what drives those palpitations and that elevated heart rate people report. Now here's the crash mechanism. Caffeine blocks adenosine receptors in your brain. Adenosine is what builds up throughout the day and signals that you're tired. So caffeine isn't giving you actual energy. It's blocking the signal that you're fatigued. And when it wears off, your body doesn't return to baseline. It overcorrects. That's why the crash feels worse than just being tired. Because it is. Your body is catching up on everything it was suppressing. On top of that, caffeine spikes cortisol, your stress hormone. And I was taking in 300 milligrams of this at 9 or 10 o'clock at night before workouts. My cortisol was spiking at the exact time it's supposed to be winding down. My sleep was horrible, and when you sleep horribly, your recovery is equally as bad. Which means the entire point of going to the gym was being undermined by the thing I was drinking to get there. I want to go deeper on the story that I opened with. Larissa Rodriguez wasn't being reckless. She wasn't slamming 6 of these. She was drinking 1 Alani a day. And she got into it just like how many people fall into the whole energy drink cycle through social media. Influencers she was following would post regularly about how important it was for them to drink their energy drinks every single day and how important it was to be a part of their routine. It looked like it was part of the whole wellness and fitness community. That's exactly how these brands position themselves. Each can has 200 milligrams of caffeine. No daily consumption limit on the label, at least at the time of this recording. No warning that drinking multiple cans could be a problem. The only cautionary language is small print saying not recommended for people under 18. Meanwhile, their entire marketing strategy runs through TikTok and Instagram and is built to reach young people. Her family's lawsuit states the drink contained twice the maximum daily caffeine recommended for teenagers. The medical examiner found no pre-existing heart condition. She had been accepted into nearly 20 colleges. She was only 17. And this is not the first time something like this has happened. In 2011, a 14-year-old named Anaïs Fournier went into cardiac arrest after drinking Monster Energy. There have also been wrongful death cases tied to Panera Bread's charged lemonade, placed right alongside regular beverages with no clear warning that it was effectively an energy drink. Panera pulled the product in 2024. This is a pattern. Not a freak accident, not a coincidence. A pattern of an industry that keeps under-labeling its products while marketing them directly to the people most at risk. Now, I'm not saying 1 energy drink a day is going to kill you, but what I am saying is that these companies have given us no real reason to fully trust them and believe that they have our best interests at hand. And the FDA agrees. They specifically warn against energy drink consumption of children and teens, and their adult recommendation caps at 400 milligrams a day. I'm not perfect. Last month, I had a few energy drinks sprinkled throughout my entire month, which for me was a big accomplishment because, like I said earlier, I went from coming from 2 to 3 energy drinks every single day, and I'm not here to try to tell you guys that I've completely sworn them off and that you should too. What I can tell you is when I changed my habit from drinking them daily to just switching over to coffee only, it made a huge difference on my overall health and mental state. The crashes stopped. The edge of anxious feelings during workouts disappeared. Sleep got much better, recovery got even better, and my training started actually producing results at a rate I wasn't seeing before. My form got better too. When you're not wired and trying to race through a session before the crash finds you, you actually slow down and move the right way. Now, coffee isn't a free pass. Caffeine is still caffeine. Drink too much of it, drink it too late, drink it on an empty stomach, you're going to feel it. None of that changes. But here's the actual differences. Coffee is one ingredient that's been studied for decades. The research on it is extensive. Energy drinks are a proprietary stack of stimulants with limited long-term data, ingredients whose combined effects aren't fully mapped, and no mandatory limits on what the manufacturer can put in the can. If you want to make the switch, here's what worked for me. 1. Limit as much sugar and heavy creamers that you put into your daily coffee as possible. I typically only make my coffee with the coffee grounds, some milk, and occasionally some stevia. 2. Wait about 90 minutes after waking up before your first cup. Your cortisol is naturally elevated when you wake up, so let it do its job before you layer caffeine on top of it. There have also been studies to show that having caffeine later in the day can also help extend your cortisol drop through the day, making you less tired and having better sleep. 3. Stop drinking it by early afternoon. Caffeine has a half-life of around 5 to 6 hours. So what you drink at 3 p.m. is still half in your system at 9 p.m. 4. If you're sensitive to caffeine or want a cleaner option, look at green tea. It has caffeine but also contains L-theanine, which researchers suggest moderates the stimulant response and takes some of the edge off the anxiety some people feel with coffee. The fitness industry puts a health label on a lot of things. Pre-workouts, fat burners, energy drinks, and the question nobody asks is, this is healthy compared to what exactly? Compared to drinking water? No. Compared to training on real sleep and real recovery? Not even close. I was drinking up to 700 milligrams of caffeine every single day, thinking I was being disciplined about my fitness. I was choosing sugar-free options because I thought that was the healthier choice. The whole time I didn't fully understand what I was actually doing to my heart rate, my cortisol, my sleep, or why I couldn't seem to stop even when it was something I wanted to. Larissa Rodriguez thought she was making a healthy lifestyle choice as well, because that's what she was shown through social media over and over again. But it was all a lie. I'm not asking you to be perfect about it. I'm asking you to actually know what you're putting in your body. Read the label, understand what 200 milligrams of caffeine means before you stack 2 of them in a day. Know that sugar-free doesn't mean low risk. And if you're having one every single day without thinking twice about it, just ask yourself whether you'd make it knowing what you know now. If this video gave you something, pass it on to someone who needs it. I'll see you in the next one.